Welcome to the first official Bricks podcast. All day, all night, and we're striked.
Oh, dude. I can't remember the next line of that. All day, all night.
Yeah. I'll just plagiarize everybody until I'm cool.
For our first guest today, it's Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So
I'm too dumb to know what reference we are talking about right
Joe
now.
Rogan.
Bro, you don't watch enough
Never
podcasts?
heard of him.
God, if Tim Waltz only
Christ.
had a podcast.
Okay, so we're literally, this is the first one. So we are trying the chairs, the setup, the lights, the background. I already noticed this is in the way of talking to you, so we're going to move these around to figure that out, but that's fine.
Dude, I liked on my podcast, I actually liked that we just were like straight on the camera. I didn't even talk to each other. It cricks your neck a lot, and then you're like, it's
You
better
could
for...
set up, we're going to have one camera here, one here, and one here right
Yeah.
away, so we'll have 3 cameras.
So you weren't looking at your guests on your podcast? You're just straight in the camera?
A little sociopathic.
I would actually put us across from each other, but the cameras would be between us. So we were talking through the cameras to each other.
Oh, okay. I had this in mind that you're like, so tell me about what...
You've been on it. Like twice.
Bro, I was kind of with Nick on that one. I was like, I thought
Listen,
I don't
my
like
ears are tiny, right? So when I'm doing this, my head looks massive because
I
of these little
never
tiny
noticed
ears.
that.
That's because I fixed it. I went straight on.
Bro, your eyes and your ears are kind of tiny.
My eyes?
That's autism.
I'm getting I love trains.
You do.
Peanut butter
You
sandwiches.
You want to know how I know vaccines don't cause autism?
You're a doctor?
No, because if they did, there'd be a shit ton more trains in this country.
That's true.
Just...
Well, we've really niched down this podcast right out the gate.
We're going to offend half the people in the world right off the bat.
Yeah, it's fine. This is
I
what
like
this
that.
is. Okay, so this is, we're going to run this and we are forming it, and I'm actually so excited that it's you two that are here for this, because one, eternal love for you two idiots. These guys have been best friends for a long time before I came into the fold, and so I'm just grateful and glad to have found such good homies to be buddies with. But the direction I think I want to take this, and I am going to let it grow naturally and just go, like, I'm not trying to make a structured, you have to do something. It's a lot like yours, Nick. It's like, I'm more interested in the people and having a real conversation with people.
Yeah.
And byproduct is what we do and what we love doing in our businesses and all this shit, and to our individual flavors. So your podcast, you lead it in a way that is very like heart-centered, emotional. Mine is, I like talking about the journey with people, the hard, the good, the bad, the hard, and all that shit, and overcoming, and that's probably going to be a lot more of the flavor, but...
You know what's interesting about that, though, Brett? Like, you said, me and Mark, you guys have been friends forever. Mark and I have only known each other since 2017. Like, and we haven't really been close friends since probably 2021 is when we really started leaning into this friendship.
Was that group? Was it...
We had hung out a few times, and then when I was looking to joining the Watt group, I wanted Mark to join me, and he's like, "Dude, I don't do men's groups, man. why would I join this group?" And I said, "I think you and I'll be better friends if you join this group." And that's a good enough reason. Done.
Yep.
And the reason I say that is not to tout mine and Mark's relationship. We have a beautiful relationship that we've cultivated in a short period of time, but I feel the same kind of closeness and friendship with you in such a very, very short period of time. You and I have actually hung out a couple of times, like really not a lot, but I think that there's this idea in friendship that you have to be best friends from the time you were in elementary school to really have any depth to your friendship.
I don't think so.
No, you just need to actually be authentic and open and like let some walls down and learn who the other person is and share who you are. And it can be you can have these beautiful friendships in a very short amount of time.
I think this is... Pull your mic a little closer, too. I just want to hear it in your headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it up. Try
Right there
again.
better?
Yeah, that is better.
Okay.
So I agree. The season, I was thinking while you're talking about the seasons of our lives and stuff like that, we're all similar age, and we're not going to say, because we're super young and hot and vivantic or whatever. Point is, we're at this point in our life, at least I know you are for sure. You kind of been this way for a while. We all are. We're just done with the shit. We don't have a lot of time for shit. We don't have a lot of time for masks. We don't have a lot of time for dealing with drama and trying to sort out this relationship and these two ones and this person doing this thing. At least me, I can let you guys speak to this, but if I almost exclusively now am attracted like a magnet to real and like heart, whatever you are, right? To me, like Bricks is, for this place, we just produce cool. And to me, cool is authentic. I kind of said this the other day. If you're a fucking nerd, but you love being a nerd and you own it and you don't give a shit what people think, you're cool. Yeah. If you're a scientist and you do that, you're cool. If you're trying to be cool, you're automatically not cool. And I'm just like drawn to that. And you guys have that in spades. Nick, you're one of the like most emotionally open, publicly quick. I think that's why you bond so fast with certain people. It might be a double-edged sword.
It can be.
And Mark obviously is Mark. He don't give a shit about nothing. So his Instagram handle is literally President McCormack.
Well, dude, I love hearing people like geek out about the things that they're really actually passionate about. Like really like dig into stuff that they love. Like if you've ever heard Mark talk about music,
yeah,
it's beautiful. Like Mark is wildly knowledgeable about music, and it's something he just deeply passionate and loves. And that's when you really get to know it. Like same with you and like art and the things that you love. That's when you really get to see people.
I agree. And like the things to, when we get to do blend, I like to blend those two parts of our lives. Like we all work, you're a plastic surgeon, you've got a flooring company and other stuff you're involved in that you're running all the time. But like the music and what are you passionate about?
Crossword puzzles.
He's not lying.
Dude, I will geek out so hard on crossword puzzles.
You like branding and content. Also, Nick's content is pretty fire already. I'm not going to lie. But Nick showing off his personality and connecting with people, being a connector, creating content, like it seems to me like you're pretty into that type of stuff. Like you do it for fun.
Yeah, I do. I do it for fun. Content sometimes can be a double-edged sword, right? Where there's definitely days like, oh God, I got to post something.
Yeah.
And the best advice I ever got when I first came out here to practice.
Perfect. That's actually great. First podcast. We're in the hood.
We learned it.
Now you know we're for really in this warehouse. This is a warehouse in the hood.
Get some character, bro.
I'm just glad that none of us were nervous when we heard that.
It's ice. Oh, beep.
Yeah, you might want to delete that. No, when I first started posting shit, it was like I was posting like stock quotes and like stock photos and just anything I could stick at the wall. And it was Jimmy who like actually gave me great advice, sat me down. He's like, Nick, nobody gives a shit about any of this stuff. He's like, pick 5 things that are unique and interesting about you, and that's all you're gonna post.
Yeah.
And we came up with the 5 things. Like plastic surgery is unique. Post about that. I love to cook. I post about that. I like to travel. I like wine to a weird amount. and at the time, I was a single dad with kids, and so I would post about my kids and my family and being a single dad all the time. And to this day, like those are the 5 things. If it doesn't fit in that category, I'm like, that's not interesting.
Authentic.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. Authentic. That's kind of the thing with this place is like I just wanted a place to do art and do my cars and do business and easily create content. I wanted to be created organically very easily while I was just doing the things I love doing. And like have more people around doing it. Turns out there's a whole thing we can put behind it. Doesn't really matter, but that's what I wanted to. Art, cars, life, business.
When you were, Brett, for a while, you were doing like video every day.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna post something every day. Did you ever struggle with that feeling like, okay, I gotta post something, and how do I post something every single day that's still authentic?
Yeah, I did, because it's not authentic. You're just doing it to try. Like you say, well, I'm doing it as a challenge for myself, and you kind of are. It's like a content challenge, but you're trying to see if you can gain followers. Mm-hmm. You're trying to see if you can get traction, and that's not going to work because you're just randomly. Oh shit, I got to make one today, and you think of something or you saw something and you try to regurgitate it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of my whole thing is like that content just nobody really cares. It's to be organic. It has to be truly organic. Truly authentic. Like when are you guys having authentic interactions? That's usually private. It's usually like when you're with your friends, the funniest moments, the best things. You're not going to sit down and make a video and then that's going to slap.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of the catch is like, how do you get those moments versus manufacturing something for what purpose?
Got it.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I think it's also important too, you still have to live your life. Like there's too many, some of these big influencers stage everything.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like, to me, it comes across like wildly inauthentic and just garbagey. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, I think when people will like make 20 reels of something on a vacation, and they're posting about Hawaii, but they've been home for 3 weeks. Like, are you still in Hawaii? What is happening?
Yeah.
You've had a journey, Mark. Tell us, give us, first of all, maybe everyone knows Nick's a plastic surgeon. Everybody knows I'm unemployed. That's quick. Give us a quick little, because we got to remember that there'll be most people that watch us don't know us.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah, let me give you a little intro to me. So pretty much what I tell people is I'm an investor. So I've owned some companies over the years and done well and buried some and did okay on other ones. And where I'm at right now, I've got 3 portfolio companies that I run as a chairman, and then I just invest in projects like bricks. And so I think I was the early investor in this one, and wildly proud of that. And the thing that I like most about this, I live in a world that's very orderly and basically on a general ledger. Coming here and getting involved in this project is really, really fun for me because you'll bring out the artistic side of me, and I'll get to play in this arena a little bit more. But that's why I was involved.
I love that, and it goes back to what Nick was saying. That I love seeing this Nashville project and this music side of you, and I see your eyes light up, and you guys are involved in that together, which is going to be. I just love watching it. That ability to do creative stuff. So just quickly too. You're an investor in a few different things, but ADP is your lead operator in a company called ADP that does a lot of flooring, and then just so people understand.
Yeah, so people understand, I have a company called ADP Lemco, which does athletic equipment. So we do everything but the flooring in that company. We do sell flooring there, so we do turf, grandstands, bleachers, basketball hoops, anything that goes inside, like an education building or like a university or anything like that. I have another company called Professional Floor Systems, or PFS, and that's when we do only high-end maple sports flooring.
Okay.
And so, we do really, really high-end stuff like the Mormon Temple down in St. George. We did that. Right. That was a year-long project with actually 9-inch wide Brazilian cherry. It's the most expensive wood in the world that you can actually put down. So our expertise level allowed us to get that contract very, very easily, and it was really fun to do something so pristine.
So I didn't even know that.
What's that?
I'm surprised they could afford that.
You know you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. I could go on and on about that. But
so that's something I didn't know the detail and distinction between those two. I didn't know you do flooring for everybody. I thought it was just sport courts, and actually thought it was inside of ADP. I knew there was PFS, but this is important stuff to know. It's good.
It's kind of a vertical. It's a vertical company that I started outside of it. I'll eventually either gobble them up or sell them off.
Yeah. And the reason why I ask, and I just drive for distinction on this, is because one thing I noticed, great thing about Salt Lake, tight community, everybody wants to introduce you to everybody. A lot of people are invested in commingling and partners and great projects all over the place. Some behavior that I see that I don't love, that I think muddies the water for, unintentionally, is people say, I do this, or that was my thing, or I was part of that restaurant, or I was part of this, or that's my company, or they're using just slightly off vernacular. And it's not their business, they invested. It's not them that operated, it was someone else that spent 15 years every day and every night. And the reason why I bring this up is because I noticed one thing that I think is going to be core to this business, is that if you're doing that type of thing, it gets very generalistic and it kind of becomes acceptable and nobody really says anything, but then it kind of whitewashes and muddies water. And it also isn't in full integrity with giving the credit to the person that spent those 15 years every night, every day, slaving over something to make it real. And that's not an investor. That's a difference, right? And I want to drive that extreme accountability and integrity here, because my whole thing is when people come to Bricks and part of this thing, we want to have each other's back so we never have to have our own.
Yeah.
And we want to promote other people exactly how it is so that we don't generalize with we're all involved in a thing. No, that's that guy's thing. He's the operator, has many investors, spent 15 years building that thing, and give him that credit to promote him. And then if we're all doing it at that level of transparency, we don't have to self-promote ever.
Yeah. I think somebody who does this really, really well on the other side of that is Michael McHenry, who has an incredible brand that he has built, but he also, he doesn't hoard the brand. Yes. Everybody knows this is his brand, he's built it, but he also is very generous with this is Mark, he's invested in this. This is Nick, he's invested in this with us. These are they're all part of our team.
Yes.
And everybody's very aware that like he created this concept, it's his baby, but he's also so generous and authentic with the people that are part of it.
Yes.
I think that's something he does in a beautiful way.
Love that. And that's kind of the thing I want to foster with like extreme transparency. Because you do see when there this many people get involved in any project, if you don't have the ability to say that to someone, or that's our culture, is like it's very clear who's doing what, then we all just promote each other all the time. Like this building itself is going to have very little of me talking in it, because once it's full, the whole point is we have so many killers and just rad people. We don't need to talk about me very often in this place once it's up and running. I just have to put my face forward over and over and over to get it going. And after that, I'm just one of the 100.
You're gonna be the dude like painting in the corner.
Yeah, who's that autistic? There's two autistic guys here. I've been watching him. He eats every third crayon. He won't tell anybody. Yeah, I think what it does too is it allows people, like when you give the credit away, like Josh and all these guys, every time I want to talk about this place, I talk about Josh. I want to talk about the people building it, the behind the scenes. It's like there is the guy vlogging, yapping all the time. Josh does 80% of the work for that, right, and never gets seen. So we want to put that out and put this out for people. Nick and Mark are bricks as much as I am bricks, right? And that's the power of this type of shit. So this culture, it just is going to require a very early on built-in transparency and the ability to challenge people on something if they say it just slightly wrong, because we don't want that to creep away, or anyone to, you don't want to deal with the problems that can come with a complex, I've seen it. We've been in groups where when there's more people, the conversations get more complex, deals get complex, and we need I want the community to have the culture to sort itself out quickly in individual conversations and not need an arbiter.
Got it.
I.e. me.
Sure.
Right? So that everyone's aware, like, this is important here, that we just watch that. I don't know. It was a thing that I definitely don't want to be the referee or dictator of anything. You're in, you're out, right? The culture decides, I want to get a board for this place, let them decide the rules, and we vet people. I don't know. It just, anyway, I think that was important for me to say.
I actually think it's the definition of a warm lead, right? Like if you say, hey, Mark, I need someone to, say someone needs to work on my friend on plastic surgery, right? I'm like, hey, my friend Nick. That's how I introduce him, right?
Yeah.
And so, and then that is such a positive experience for the people to be like, oh, this is Mark's friend. I trust Mark. If this is his friend, he must trust him, right? And so I think when you actually intentionally do that amongst the companies that we're going to house inside of Bricks, right, you are doing that same warm lead every single time, but you're also doing it on a global scale through social media.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think it's the balance of, there is a bit of like figuring this out as we go, but when you're bringing your best friends into something, I think you got to be overly intentional. At least I want to overly communicate, overly transparent, overly intentional, throw everything out so that it gets brought up so we can settle on something. Because this truly is building a building and all this shit. It's going to be, like I said, heavy on the upfront with me doing a bunch of shit. But as it starts to go, just community board-based, how do we make decisions and really if it's about the people, it wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you also have to, you establish the culture early, and then it'll be very apparent when people come in, if they don't mix with the culture, it's just, oh, this doesn't work.
Yes.
Very, very easy.
Yes, that is a great,
But if you don't have like an established, like, this is our culture, this is what we have, that's when you can start to have all these different people coming in with different ideas of what it is, and it feels broken. Off.
A little while. You lose the real, like, I think these type of things can be very impactful. If you define that and you stick to it and you don't try to be everything to everyone. It's not a broad, this is why this is a private club. This is going to be small, 100 people, whatever, outside, inside, 14 people members. But like you set that culture and you stick to it.
Yeah, I've experienced that in my own practice, in my own group. We have, several different partners who are all phenomenal plastic surgeons, but not everybody has the same idea of what the culture in the office should be.
Interesting.
And when those things don't clash, it not everybody at the top feels it, but then it just trickles down to everybody else. Mm-hmm. And so the nurses and the lower level managers and everybody feels, oh, we're not cohesive right now.
Right. And then they got it like, whose team am I supposed to be on?
Exactly.
Yeah. Then the bifurcated dynamic, and it gets kind of tense.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think in terms of like you guys are helping me create as much as anything here? My driving towards this, I ran cold bore before, which had a lot of people, so I understand the dynamics of this. This one even more special to me. I think there's more opportunity for something really special here. It's not money driven. This is true, but I am as of yet not completely flushed out on how to manage that, being completely transparent. So what do you guys think? Do you have thoughts that come to top of mind in terms of managing? My thing is, if you set this and you have the conversation over and over, it will immediately like transparency, integrity, authenticity, and who you are. I don't care what you do, who you are. If you're here to contribute, and I mean you, your energy, your time, your service, and your social network, then you have 14, 15, 100 other people doing the same thing, way more powerful. But if you're here to take anything, just don't come.
Well, I think you're hitting on the difference between marketing and brand, right? Which is really why Bricks is going to be set apart from everybody else. This is a brand warehouse. This is a brand manufacturing company, right? We're not just telling people what we do, we're showing them who we are. And I think that is, because that, one thing to understand, you and I have been on conference calls once a week for 2 years talking about this stuff, so this isn't a new question for me. But I love that because I think our entire business culture is shifting over to brands. It's kind of been there for a while, the big brands, Nike, Apple, Google, all these guys, where they're very recognizable. But what do they really stand for, And I like it on a more local level. It's like me, right? If you want to hire my company, it's like, what do these guys stand for? We stand for being on time and providing the best service. That's it. Right? And it's very easy to see that once you deal with our brand over and over again. It's why contractors come back to us constantly, right? Even if the price isn't as low as some other people's, right? They'll come back to us and be like, no, we got to work with you guys because you make the flow easy for us on the back end.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so to answer, kind of bring it back to your question, I think that's what it is. Instead of, it's just driving who we are instead of what we can do for you, which is always salesy and kind of sleazy sometimes.
Yeah, brand is hard. But yeah, I'm thinking like from a perspective of managing or trying to set the culture to establish the brand house. Functionally, what we do will come as a brand house and what we do, but the culture of setting it for the people that come in, anything that jumps to the front of your mind.
I like that you said you're going to have a board. I think a board is important where you can have people establishing barriers of entry.
Yeah.
And what the feel has to be. I think the people that come in here should be people who are looking to see what they can give and not what they can get.
Yep.
And as you establish that culture, you've got to establish the culture in the same way, right? Which is what can I give these clients that are coming in, rather than what can I get from these clients that are coming in.
For sure.
I mean, they're gonna want to be here if you're giving them a valuable experience and they recognize it.
That's the golden rule of any business, is you shouldn't be trying to figure out how do I make something to sell to people and convince them to buy it.
Yep.
Develop something or do something or provide a service that's so valuable that you first provide so that you give them something. Like we're doing content. We go do content for a bunch of people. We're going to keep doing content for companies. We'll just go film. Be tens of thousands of dollars to go have video content like this produced. We're just going to keep doing it because I want to do it for my friends. I want them to have it. I want them to have the reels. I want them to have the long format. And we've done one video each for two. Two of them called back and said, we want to do this with you. How do we do this? Great. That's awesome. Now you just figure out a way. You worry about the model so that you're not hosing people. You give them a value add place where the goal is long term. It's growth, it's visibility, all those things. Provide value first is a key to this. And actually, Mark, back to what you were saying, if the whole point of this, what I identified early on with my last company is we all have businesses. We all have stuff we do as a job. We all have our passions. We try to market it, especially our businesses more. We'll do marketing. We try to get it out there, grow revenue to sustain our lives, to be able to build the life we want potentially. That's what I did with Cold Bore. Is like, I'm going to make this much money so I can sell it for this much and then I'll get to live how I want. And I was pouring money into marketing and doing all this and really trying to understand a brand and what the difference is. And it all kind of coalesced into this thing where I'm like, I don't need to wait to have the life that I want. I just need to make a business where I'm doing what I would do if I had all the money in the world anyway, which is art and cars and be with my friends. I don't want to be alone. I don't want a tiny 10 square foot warehouse. I want a 10,000 for people. And it turns out that if you're more focused on that aspect, the relational aspect, and we all have businesses, we all have stuff we do that makes money. The differentiator that happened here is that I would pour money into marketing over and over and over. We all do. We all make content, we spend $10,000 a month trying to do it, and it doesn't land because we don't have strong brands, or it's minimally effective and becomes burnout and becomes a chore. With this place, if we focus on developing strong brands, there's usually only one way to develop a really strong brand, and that's time. The other way to do it is association. If you get together with someone who has a strong brand in your same field and do content with them, you're going to grow a lot faster.
100%.
If we all have strong brands, that's why I said it doesn't matter what you fucking do, because we all have strong brands, we all have businesses, we're all friends, we're aligned on values. We can make content around a central location of something that's ours, which is this place, and then branch it off, and that's our common thread. But it's really for the purposes of what we're trying to do, create more value, have more fun. The businesses will thrive. Brand association grows by using it as a network. Great. To me, it's just like that. Actually, just I took a while to get there, but I'm like, holy shit, that'll work, and we'll have the life we want without worrying about the money.
Yeah.
It allows you to keep creating forever and ever and ever, right? And so, yeah, that to me is what needs to be protected. I don't really care about. I'm not coming at it from the perspective of like, this is gonna make so much money, so I need to like really make sure the people in here are rich or like have a big name or all this shit. Like, no, fuck off. I just want a place that's sustainable for a long time, that generates a lot of happiness and fulfillment, and its byproduct is large brand growth and visibility, and we all have success. It's a great thing as a byproduct. I don't think you should drive for it, but I want to protect that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really know how to like manage this without getting into a dictator role yet, but
I think you just got to be in a mentor role. Right, really, that's what you're going to be at the end of the day. It's like we've talked about this a lot, and you say it way more than I do. But it's being in service for people. It's something Nick's very, very good at this too.
yeah,
But like, whenever I come here with people, right, if I bring some friends or business associates or whatever, all 14 people in here are going to be introduced.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like it is walk through this thing. Let me show you stuff. The reason this person's here is this. Blah blah blah. Not just like they do accounting, they do roofs, they do
No.
It's just like, hey, come meet my friends. Boom, boom, boom. Come meet my friends. What do you do? Do you need any of this kind of stuff? You know what I mean? It's going to be like a 10-minute long conversation with somebody, but I'm in service for all 14 of those people that are going to occupy this place.
Absolutely.
Which is also, I feel like, our responsibility because we built this thing.
Yeah, it's just more fulfilling. It truly is. It sounds a little woo-woo.
Yeah,
But I've built a business just to try to have a business for myself and then get an exit. And I made it to a place where they had a big house and cars and all stuff, and it was shitty. I want to spend my time, risk money, investing in something that we can drive massive value for a lot of people. And if a lot of people start collaborating, drive more value within their groups, which by product them become more valuable to other people. And if we sustain it in a way where like we're all geared by these cultural tenets that aren't going to get out of control if people do start getting a lot of money and success and visibility, right? This byproduct drives millions of followers. How do we keep those core tenets in there that we don't, even me, right? Don't let it change.
Yeah.
Like ensure that.
I think it's on the one hand, it's a beautiful, idealistic view of what you want the business to be. And on the other hand, there's always going to be the fact that it is a business and it needs to succeed from a numbers standpoint.
Sure.
From a plastic surgery perspective, like one thing that I have noticed here in Utah used to be, and still is in some respects, a mecca for plastic surgery. People would come from all over the country.
Really?
And they still do, to Utah. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one is there's really good plastic surgeons here. Me included. Number two, though, is plastic surgery here for a long, long time has been very affordable. And that's from a number of reasons. The way with the plastic surgeons here have partnered with surgery centers and what we charge and all of that. And so people could come from New York and California, travel here, stay a week, pay for a plastic surgery package, and still spend way less than they were spending in California or New York.
Really?
And it's gotten to the point now, though, there's more and more surgeons here who are charging as much or more as some of those places. And it's been an interesting thing to watch the market, because from a marketing perspective, there are some people who are like, oh, this person's this much more. They must be that much
Better value perception.
And it's also started to hurt the market in some respects, where I see less people coming in from out of state because, like, well, why would I come spend as much on a surgery that I can get that's probably about equivalent? And so for me in my own business, it's, you know, it comes down to this idealistic view of my business and also the numbers. From an idealistic view, I want to make sure that my patients are treated the very best, they have the very, very best experience. And I want to make sure that I'm getting my value and I'm getting paid for my time.
Yeah.
And there are levels of money that I just don't feel comfortable charging somebody. Even though I know I'm going to give them a fantastic result, and I don't know if that's is that a distrust of what I'm actually providing, or am I just being honest with what it's worth?
I think
You know what I'm saying?
I think you're very honest and a good guy. And I do see there being a double-edged sword there, because value perception is a real thing. That's why people tell you, like, art is a great example. I can relate it to art. If I price my paintings at $300, you'll never get out of that hole. If it's $15,000-$20,000 a piece, because you're paying for my 10,000 hours and the art that I can produce and not just the materials, and that's what it is. And you start selling at that price, great. But if you go to 100 grand or 200 grand, now you start to feel a bit dirty. You're like, God, that's crazy. Like, you know, but I mean, artists will take it. I know. Hey, listen. Hey, just not. I'm not. Hey, hold on. If you want to pay 100 grand for one of my paintings, you just let me know. I'll send it over next week. You're a better guy than me.
Well, it's interesting. Like, there's a guy in Beverly Hills who charges. He was doing a ton of facelifts, does a beautiful facelift, and he was charging standard prices, like 20 grand for facelifts.
Yeah.
And he was having to do a lot of them, and it was keeping him in the OR a lot. And he's like, you know what?
Fuck it.
I'm gonna charge 100 grand for a facelift.
Yeah.
And see what happens. And he was busy, and he was doing like one a week. He started charging $200,000 for a facelift, and people were still coming in and were still paying it. And so that's one of the things where I struggle. I'm like, okay, is he the brilliant guy here, or am I just being more authentic? I don't know.
I think he's the brilliant guy, and both are true. I think it's going to feel bad to ring people for that, but at the same time, they can go get $20,000 facelifts elsewhere. You could get, if you get more time with your family. I'll give you the exact case study here. There's a guy where I'm from in Canada, in BC, that makes these beautiful chandeliers. They're like hand-blown glass balls that are colored that hang on a bunch of chains, and there's like 40 or 50 of them. And they hang in like a stairwell or something, right? And they all light up different colors, and they're all unique, beautiful. And for a piece, like maybe a 10-piece chandelier, I forgot what it was, he was charging like $2,500, and he was having a tough time selling them. And I guess I don't know who it was, but some business person or some coach or someone told him, 10x your price. And he started charging $25,000 for the little ones, $100,000 for the medium, and $250,000 for the big ones, backed up for years.
Damn.
Value perception.
Yeah.
If it's more expensive, people perceive it to be better.
Yeah.
Right? And so that you being a good guy could technically hurt you in a lot of people's eyes, because they're like, I don't want a cheap one.
100%.
So-
I don't like I definitely am not the cheap guy.
No.
In Utah, and I know where I'm valued, but I think you constantly have to adjust that, and you constantly have to look and see,
Stay with the market.
where I'm at, where the market is at, what my value, what my time is worth.
I think one of your, I'll just call it a problem when you start messing with your pricing, right, is if you have to go down and someone from 6 months ago paid 30% more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you start having clients who are upset with it, right? So that would be a very interesting business model to jump into and try and keep on pricing that right. Because, you know, if you go business 101, right, whatever people are willing to pay is what the market price is.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, if someone's willing to pay you $30,000 and you only charge them $20,000, then you are leaving $10,000 on the table.
Exactly. Well, there's a guy I know who he practices down in Texas, and he will reevaluate his prices every 3 months. Because for him, what he says is, hey, if you're really busy and you are booked out 6 months, a year in advance, guess what? Every one of those patients you're booking is locked in at that price. And so if you're only reassessing after a year, you potentially lost tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And so for him, he'll like adjust his prices every 3 months to make sure he's about 3 months booked out all the time.
I think the
Yeah,
best thing to do is
smart.
figure out your algorithm for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a dirty word because no one really knows what that means. But you know what I mean? Like, for example, one of the indicators would be, right, if you're 9 months out, price is too low automatically.
Yep, 100%.
Right? But if you're only 3 weeks out, you might be a little high. So you got to figure out those, I guess metric is a better way to say it. Figure out those metrics that push your price in that zone. But it can be a lot, though.
I see the moral or moral dilemma with you though too, because you know what it could be done for, and you have people you know or people you like, or you've got a great, like you're a people person and you're
For sure.
in the community, and you feel bad if it's like if I 4x my price on these people.
Yeah, I always want to do the right thing. There is a number in my head. It's a number, not an algorithm. I have a number in my head of what amount per hour I should be making in the operating room on a particular case.
Right.
And I'll go assess my cases, and if I did not make that, if I'm not making that margin per hour, then I need to raise it higher.
Yeah.
And there are some cases where I make way more than that number, and I know those are my high value, high margin cases, and I try to push those more. But yeah, it's an interesting system.
I don't know either. We have to talk again, because as this place goes, year one, I have to price it where there's a lot of value. It's more valuable, like the monthly prices, including the office, the media, full media production, events, networking, all the stuff comes with it. And that's less than what you'd pay to have a marketing company do videos for you a month for 5 reels in this.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is all the value. But as the strategy takes over with this, and we suck in a bunch of networks, and we're producing content constantly, and we're all grown up, let's say 2 years out, this has 1 million followers, that's a whole different value proposition.
100%.
If you come into this building, you immediately have distribution or visibility of 1 million followers by association. It's not that price. People pay $100,000 to get access to a membership.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? So you have to manage that growth curve, and I'm thinking through that now. Like, I think the first 14 members, I tell them, we will be on, here's the project, here's this, and then transparency over time. We're going to cap you out at something way below where everyone else is going to pay, and then location in Phoenix, those ones will ring the dollars out, and outside clients for whatever value it is at that point. You guys will always stay here. I think that's a way I can maintain my moral compass with it a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. Have you thought about that with your practice?
Why is it a moral issue?
I just feel like the people that are there at the start, or the friends we have or something, as the service, it's economies of scale is all we're talking about. If your service becomes, let's say this strategy becomes wildly successful and gains millions of followers distribution, the value would be there to charge people $250,000 for a membership.
That's what I mean.
Right? But I wouldn't exist without the people who showed up first to invest in me when the value was unknown.
But they got massive value
They
for
did.
taking the risk.
They did, but this is what I'm saying. It's moral, not an economic thing. Economics is easy. This still makes sense. Here, I'll just show you the math. You're in or you're out.
No, but that's what I'm asking, though. Why is it a moral thing?
I feel like I just want people to have outsized you. I don't want to. You invested in me essentially a year and a bit ago. I don't want to make it now like, well, you've got your return. That's enough. Everything I do in here, I'm probably going to consider you first to come be part of for the next 15 years. More companies.
But I would call that the right thing to do, right? Because I invested. I didn't know exactly what we were doing at the start.
We know
which is kind of funny.
Let's just be fair.
Tell
We
that
knew
story
nothing.
later.
You got big balls. Yeah.
I threw a bunch of money at Brett, and I would do it again.
Do you call that the right thing to do, or did you also call it the moral thing to do?
No, because I don't think it's a moral thing. Because the right
So that's
thing.
why I'm actually going to clarify the difference.
Yeah, I don't think morals exist in this really at all, unless you're doing something immoral.
Mark always has hot takes, by the way, because this is going to be on the Bricks channel. Mark has his hot takes, which I love because it stirs up conversation. But I will say this, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't technically, the Bricks will provide enough of a return on whatever that we're good. I don't need to include you on anything in the future.
Correct.
But I would be like, hey, I'm just going to give you some of this. I'm going to give you some of this forever.
Yeah.
That's the moral side, because without your thing at the start, I don't know where I would have had I would have had to find that's the trickiest entry point in my situation specifically.
Well, I guess to me, morals are it's a two-way street. It's not just a one-way street, right? So it actually, for you to be moral with me, it actually depends more about how I feel about it my perspective of the thing more than your perspective. Am I saying that word
Perspective?
Right? Perspective. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right, because if I feel totally fulfilled by what happened, you're not being moral or not moral by giving me more.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that's, I'm really just challenging it because I know both of you guys, and I am actually really, really attracted to people who are kind. I've figured that out this year, right? That is my number one thing with people. Doesn't mean you can't be strong, because you have to be strong too to be who I consider a friend. And I think both of you guys are wildly kind, especially Nick, right? And so,
motherfucker.
and there's nothing against you, but like,
motherfucker.
I'm telling you.
Also,
Nick,
hold on, I don't want to interrupt you, but for clarity purposes, I really need to put this caveat in. I consult currently for ADP Lemco and Mark's an investor. Just need to be very clear with everything I put on the internet.
Oh, yeah, conflicts of interest. We got to dictate.
That's the way. It's the way we structure it.
Well, it's just it's for about a bunch of reasons. Anyway, go on with your stuff.
But yeah, but like I see where the dilemma can come in your guys' in particular minds as you're pricing these things out. I would just, if I was advising you, I'd say take the emotion out of it. You are providing a service at a price, right? And the closer you get your price to market, the better you are. But that's just me, though. I mean, you guys can say I'm wrong.
I agree that is the prudent, financially responsible business perspective. That's the 100% the right answer from that perspective. There's a part of it for me, though, where I am always going to want to feel like I'm being true to myself. Mm-hmm. And that's the moral aspect of it for me, right? And I think what Brett is saying, I want to do the right thing.
Mine is for like, this company will make money for sure. The model makes money. It'll make a ton of money. Mm-hmm. I'm less interested in that. This is genuine. I figured this business is designed to figure out how much value I can truly give, or give people the infrastructure to build crazy value and be the shepherd or the ringleader to pull it all together and keep it moving, to organize it a bit. Then massive life change for a lot of people. That's a moral element for me. It's like, I can get on the spreadsheet and I can explain to Toby and those guys how this thing makes money, and I can justify it to you why you're going to pay way more. I just like, the business is going to make its money. Once initially, you have to be very careful on that to make it sustainable, make it real. Once it's making a lot of money, I care way less, and I'll just do things more on my heart.
Yeah, you want to feel good about it.
Yes.
You guys are nice.
Well, I mean, this is an example that's kind of adjacent to this, but in my practice, I try to take off about every 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks, I try to get out of town for 3 to 4 days. I shut down my practice. I go spend some time with my kids. I spend some time with Haley, and I had a manager once.
Both our girlfriends' names are Haley. I have a girlfriend now, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. I've met her.
Sorry,
She's dope. I love her.
We broke up, but now we're back together.
Okay, awesome.
That was a departure.
Idiot. Go. Sorry. I just realized they're both Haley. ADD.
I bet they're not spelled the same.
God damn ADD. Say it, guarantee or not. So I had a manager once, though, who sat me down. She's like, well, you're taking way too much vacation. So what do you mean? She's like, well, you were gone X amount of years. It turned out to be about like 2 weeks more than what some of the other partners were taking. And I said, listen, I know the numbers here. I know I could have $100,000 more in my bank account at the end of the year if I didn't take this amount of time off, and I don't care.
Right.
I would that $100,000 is not worth anything close to what the time I'm getting with my family and the time I'm getting for me is. So that's a sacrifice that I have made, and I say it's adjacent because that's part of where I can have a successful business that I'm very proud of financially and still feel good about myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You travel a lot, right?
I try to.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you guys
too much.
have both been around the world and experienced other cultures. Mm-hmm. I've been quite a few. I think this is like, it's not exclusive, but it's very prevalent in our country or America or Canada, Western society, that they're very focused on like, this is what a successful life looks like, and it's heavily rotating around work and your social status and your money you make and the car, like, and I get it's a little cliche, but it is. Other countries they don't look at life like that. You go to Italy, they're like, what are you talking about? Why would I work that many hours in a day?
Yeah.
And we just don't get it. Our brain breaks. We're like, well, because you're going to lose out to the competition. And they're like, competition for what? Lunches? and dinners with my family?
Yeah.
You're like, no, for your business. You have to have the biggest business. And they just like, that's crazy. You're crazy.
Dude, in Russia, like most people have a dacha, which is like a summer cottage, and they 3 to 4 months of the year they check out. They go live on their dacha, grow tomatoes, and hang out with their family, and then they come back. And it's just like,
Well, because when we get to the end of this and we die and we have way more than we need, which we already do, way more than we'll just die with stuff to give to people. What we're going to look at those, we just don't see it. It's like you don't know what you don't have. If you went and saw how much time they get with their family, how many more experiences, how much more, and it's not just I get more time to have the same ski trip. Because they're spending more time, they have deeper relationships, they have way different experiences, they have more valuable ones. You know, this is an exponential thing that you spend more time doing the valuable stuff in life. And I think I'm getting this whole like capitalistic shift off of cold board. Now this business, my brain works in business models. This thing will make money. I don't care. I just want time with my friends. I want time to do the shit I love on a Monday at 3 p.m. I want to be doing my one thing when I wrote down when I got fired from Cold Bore and I was writing down what to do next, trying to think of a business. I was like, if I had $50 million in my bank account right now, what would I go do to kill time? That has to be it. And that was my highlighted, cannot be anything but that. It has to meet that requirement.
yeah, it's the most valuable resource we have.
Right? And so this is like what we're doing here. I get to hang out with you guys. This is work. We're going to do more passion, more events, more cool shit. Like we're going to think of all the craziest event we could ever think of and be like, let's do it there for sure because that's great for content and that'll promote us and that'll help our shit.
Yeah.
Let's do another crazy thing. And then we're crazy and crazy and crazy. Bring our kids in, do all this stuff. More and more and more and more. And this should suck up all our time thinking of all the more events and adventures and things and activities to do. And we just get the content guys to capture it and put it out. And now it's all working in our favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to finish my car next year and then come take pictures out under this damn light.
Please do.
Is that Corvette you were talking about? Or what is it?
It's a Shelby Cobra.
Corvette AC, yes. How far is it getting?
We're about a third of the way there. I took a little bit of a break this year because I was writing a book. And so we're going to dive back into it and hopefully finish it next year.
You could bring it down here and we could all work on it.
Well,
It's pretty set up in that garage.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, I've got a 4-post lift and it's stacked and ready.
All right.
Engines in
You
there.
told me to come help you do it. You just got to pick a weekend.
Oh, let's get your ass
I'll
up
bring
there.
a wrench. Yep.
Done.
you would love it, Brett.
Oh, yeah. I love
Mark
that
loves
shit.
to come in and watch me tinker.
I come in there, I watch, I clean.
He does. He organizes
The
my
best
shit
damn
for
cleaner in
me.
there. I get all the boxes and shit. Nick is not very clean. Dude, I have to have everything perfectly when I'm working on shit, blah, blah, blah. By the way, that's a pop shot of like my best bud. He does do clean stuff, but like, he'll open the box, just kick it to the side. I just walk over and grab it, throw it away.
I'm a genius. Genius or disordered.
Exactly. I don't know what that's like.
most humblest. I'm definitely getting T-shirts that says we're the most humblest. Yeah.
Oh, I told you my billboard, right?
No.
This is my retirement billboard, okay? It's going to say 30 years of plastic surgery. What else gives me? I fix God's mistakes. It's humble work.
You're going to be up there competing with the Julia Reagan
Yeah.
for legendary status of those boards.
Oh, he'll have a hard spike in there. It'll be 1-star reviews off of Google for a minute.
That's why it's
it
got to be.
won't matter.
That's why it's got to be the retirement billboard.
I bid you adieu.
30 years of fixing God's mistakes, people. You're welcome.
Okay, so I want to ask you one thing. I'm going to wrap this up because you guys are going to do a podcast today here, and I want you guys to get time to do your thing, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping me kick this off and being the friends that you are. I want to end on this. If there's one thing that you think would make this place special, whether it's a way of being or a thing we do or something we can contribute in the way we give and the way that service mindset happens in this building when it's done, what's one thing you think would make this place the most special if we were to follow or achieve or the way we act, anything?
Let me go first. I'll let Nick think.
Perfect.
I've kind of already, this is just for me, 100% for me. It's not even for you or for the business. The 14 companies that we bring in here, I'm going to make it my personal mission that they are all optimized and efficient and on the right path moving forward.
Awesome.
Just as part of it, right? Because I want, for selfish reasons and for Bricks and for them, right? I want people to have, I want this to have the reputation that if you get in the building, you get better. And that's going to come from mentorship.
Keep in mind that this is like some of the guys that are coming in here are going to pretty high level guys that are using this as satellite. And so their companies are going to, I've got some guys that are coming here and teach us a thing or two. So,
which would be great.
Well, that's the point, right? And that's why, again, going back to, sorry to diverge here, but going back to the authenticity and the ability to call people out and say, yes, that's exactly what, or not, to keep that narrow focus is, if the people that are coming in here are that high level, I've noticed of my own dealings with the Toby Rices of the world and these other guys, that if you try to talk about too many things, like that you're involved in, or that like you kind of know, but you're talking about too many subjects, it's less, they just don't have time for it. It's less valuable. Like to Nick's point. But if there's that thing that we do, and it's uniquely us, and that's the thing we're pouring into, Mark's thing, Nick's thing, Brett's thing, and we stay focused on that. Now we are involved in other things for fun, but like the main thing we're always on about is our passion. It's what we know. We're not trying to generalize. You tend to attract a lot more specific, high-level killers. I mean, high level as a person, high level in their morals, high level in their business, because they're very focused on their shit. Now, we can talk about all kinds of stuff all the time, but we don't generalize all the time, and we're not trying to get into other people's lanes. It's almost like those people are allergic to that, right? Oh, one day he's talking about this, the next day he's talking about that, next day he's talking about that. They're just like, I don't have time for fucking this. And they're not that interested in hearing about a million things, as I'm not. But if you talk about the shit that you talk about, which is you already do naturally, the plastic surgery, the business, the stuff you're passionate, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway.
I would say for me, it's you want people to come into this place and feel very welcome and very comfortable. It can be very intimidating to come into a place like this where where you perceive everybody as high level.
Yeah.
And whether you have some amount of imposter syndrome or you don't think you're high level, it will be very helpful to just the second you walk in the door, just have it feel welcome and inviting, and you're wanted here.
I love that one. Again, and so my thing, I guess, see if this is a appropriate response, is my focus has shifted from what they do to who.
Yeah.
Right. And when I say high level, I'm trying to, I guess there is an element of you have to categorize what you expect this place to be from a demographic perspective. Mm-hmm. It's not a WeWork. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not for startups. It's just not. It's not that I can't come help you if you have a startup. I love that. But this place isn't for that. It's people with their company, their brands. It has to be something you're doing that's making money that you want to grow, but you want the human element brought to that and let the organic interactions of the network. It's kind of hard I'm going to figure out that refinement of that language, because it isn't about the money, but you have to be at a certain level to be in here of something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I don't know how to blend those two, because I really don't care about how much money you make. But it's not going to work if you're just a startup in here asking people. It muddies the relationships in here, and the certain people we want in here won't want to be here, because it's like, I'm not there for that.
Yep.
I want to get value.
Yep.
I don't know. Any thoughts on that? Because you do trigger something for me there. I'm not trying to, it's hard to draw that or to blend those two.
For me, I actually, when I'm in a group, like if we're hanging out with a bunch of guys or I'm hanging out with people that don't know me, it's very, people want to talk to me about plastic surgery, and I get it, right? They want to connect, and they know that's what I do, and it's interesting. It's my least favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's not that I love plastic surgery. I love what I do, but it also just feels like a circumventing and surface level of trying to get to know me. Like, the only thing you know about me is plastic surgery, and so that's what you're going to ask me about?
Yeah.
Like, no, fuck that. Ask me, talk to me about me. And I try to approach my business in that way, too. Like, I think people come to me because they know I'm a great plastic surgeon and my results are out there. But I think even more so, people come to me because I care, they trust me, and they know that I will take good care of them. And that I think has served me well, and I think it would serve you well here, which is just lead with that heart of like, okay, let me get to know who you are. And you said this earlier, yeah.
Well, that's all I do.
Who is it, rather than what are they?
Well, like, I don't think we've ever talked about plastic surgery ever.
No, you've never asked me.
No, because I genuinely don't care.
We talk about tattoos and where we're from and what you like and fucking Haley that you broke up with apparently and put back together.
But I think you're really helping me define something here, because there's the vernacular around developing something like this. The who is what I genuinely care about. I only have those type of relationships. That's why I'm doing partners. Good business partners come when you connect with the who. The Tobys of the world, they're the who. That's why we're able to do business together, because he likes me, I like him. We like each other. But again, then it's, I guess, around, we already knew that. I already had that same language, just playing on your point of really make it welcoming. So then defining this language is very important, because it is the who, but there is a demographic of people, or there's a purpose and there's a professional aspect to this building that isn't just for fucking around. Although we leverage our natural lives and our organic living and bring our passions together to further our online presence, which then brings eyeballs back to our business, right? You're blending these things together. So I got to get clear language. We are focused on the who, but defining demographic is important, because it costs a certain amount of money to be in here. And the certain kind of people that are going to be in here doing this stuff, we're trying to level up our businesses that are already at a certain level. You can't bring a bunch of people in that are just starting out, or there'll be no value. You got to get it there and up, right?
Yep.
So the language and figuring that out is going to be important.
Amen.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
We'll try not to be we'll try, what's the superficial? I hate to be exclusionary, but you kind of do. It is.
Oh, we're going to be exclusionary. It's a private club.
Yeah, it is. I don't like. But there's outside memberships where we let, because I do like people with.
No. We'll have events for people to come in here and experience this, right? But here's the deal: if we have a friend come up to us, be, hey, I really want to come in here, right? And we know they're not a fit, we tell them the truth.
Oh no, easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
You got to have some level of exclusivity within it. Absolutely.
I think the way that the members are very exclusive. It's very specific. There's certain types, and we know who that is. I think then outside membership for events and all this, you want to be part of the club. We can bring in the people who have the enthusiasm, the younger guys, the younger girls who really want to do something to get around us. They can do that at events. Maybe and have membership where we can give back in that form, but the business aspect or the day-to-day of this is tightly controlled. Yeah, something like that. Because I do like bringing people in and investing in people too. Like someone said to me a long time ago when I first raised money, I raised the first like $100,000 for Cold War. I was running around raising $25,000 at a time. And I went to this banker and I did a deal or went up to his boardroom, and I was using the wrong words. Nothing was right. I said, this is my business evaluation. He's like, it's valuation, but good try. And he still wrote the check for $100,000.
Nice.
And I asked him, I said, I couldn't figure it out, and I was nervous, and I was like kind of upset about it, and I fucked it up, and he still wrote the check. And I didn't know the guy. It was the first meeting. And when I got in the elevator, we were going down the stairs or somewhere, and he said, I asked him, why did you write that check? Like, why did you agree to do this? And he goes, it's a good idea, and I believe in you. I think you have a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy. I think you're going to get it done. But also, there's a responsibility. It's like for all of us that are lucky enough to get the elevator to the top floor, we're supposed to send it back down. That stuck with me for 15 years.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want to equate that back to you guys' pricing models, because I'm stuck on that. Because like
I was about to wrap it on we're such a slam dunk fucking
60 seconds and it's over.
This guy's got to come back for the last word.
Mark,
Holy shit.
if Mark's on your podcast, he's getting the
Hey,
last
I've
word.
talked 22% of the time on this podcast so far.
You're right.
No, but like
30.
I look at Nick, right? And it's like if you price to market, right, it actually gives you more time because you're doing less surgeries at a higher amount. And then if you want to get past the moral dilemma, do plastic surgery on someone that cannot afford it. For straight free, right? Because that is how, in my mind, you would bridge that gap. And it's kind of the same thing we're talking about here. How do we help people? We're building bricks. We're building our companies. We've built ourselves. How do we really help people other than by example? And I think it's mentorship, but I've been beating that drum for years.
I've talked to the city, approached me, a girl that they want to bring the small businesses in, and once we get this media machine up and running, and the thing is, like, our businesses are going to be the main clientele, and that will be the thing that spins it up, because we can all afford to pay, we all want it more, it grows like crazy, we do all these things. The small food truck guys and the little restaurant in the strip mall with the mom and pa, when we have that visibility and the bandwidth, once the customers are served and this business is making money, then we go out and we pour resources into these people and we bring them in here and we put them on our platform and we talk them up and we give them access to all this one at a time. They're not members, but we pull them in.
Yeah.
That's how you give back to the community. That is going to be a big part of this. So the city council, they kind of came by and asked what we were doing, and I told them, and they said, there's a whole thing, silver level sponsorship on helping the small business in Salt Lake. They want Bricks to be a member and representative. So giving back is a very, very important piece for me. It just got to establish the core of what this is going to be first.
Yeah. It's kind of like putting your oxygen mask on first before you can help someone else in an airplane.
Yeah. I got to be the number one tit guy in Utah before I go giving out some free BBLs. You should see the back of my hoodie.
Well, I'm going to let Mark end on his note.
Yeah, thank you guys. Mark, you're gonna wrap this up, but I want to say thank you to you guys very much. This is a big deal. This is also, we've had some milestones. This is one.
Yeah.
This is like the official, we'll look back in 5 years and be like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at us.
We'll be a little bit fitter.
Look at us.
Look
A little bit wealthier.
Look at how grand. Are you not entertained?
Anyways, that's it.
Boom.
Good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Dope.
Okay. Time to cry. That was way longer than I thought, but thank you.
Oh, man.
Oh, don't get me and Nick free flowing, bro. I'll be here for 5 hours.
God damn.
Another one?
Yeah, it's only 4. We'll go 30 minutes. Yeah.